At this time, could I have a motion from the board to adjourn executive session? Amy? Second?
I'll second it.
Tom? May I have a motion to move to regular session?
So moved.
Tom and Sam? At this time, no one has signed up to speak to the board, so we will move to recognitions. If I could turn it over to Dr. Huey, please.
Yes. Tonight we have a special guest, Brooke Trevette. Brooke, as many of you know from the coverage in the media over the last several years, and certainly principals know of her hard work, Brooke is a 5th grader at Charles E. Riley School. She's the founder of Brooke's Book Project, and her mission is really to share her love of reading, writing, and literacy, and the power of reading books and children's books and reading aloud, which is a passion I share as well. And we're really excited to recognize her. One of her most recent donations was to Fitchie Park School of 435 books. And Brooke generates her stockpile of books through donations and business help from businesses as well. And this is something that is unique to any school district, to have a young student take on a project like that that has become so widely known, that benefits all the students and families in literacy in Oswego. And certainly with our elementary literacy task force and our focus on reading and writing and read aloud, and certainly the effort this year on kindness, this is the perfect recognition tonight. And we would like to recognize her. We're going to read a resolution for Mrs. Callan and I to present. The Oswego City School District Superintendent of Schools and Board of Education recognizes Brooke in recognition of her dedication and thoughtfulness. Your hard work and dedication resulted in the success of Brooke's Books Project, and has brought recognition to you, your family, your teachers, Riley School, certainly Fitchie Park Elementary, the Oswego City School District, and our entire community. The Oswego City School District recognizes and congratulates you for your outstanding accomplishments. You are the best of what Oswego has to offer. Signed, Amy Callan, Board of Education President, and Dr. Dina, UI Superintendent of Schools. Congratulations. Brooke's mom, Rebecca,
Yeah, that's what we took.
Yeah, that's right.
is our public
That was
relations consultant and works for City BOCES, and Brooke's mom is certainly instrumental in helping guide us through the capital project, and this is kind of a family affair.
Stop talking. Next on the agenda is the Board of Education, a Board of Elections contract for the May 21st, 2019 budget vote and the board member election. If I could have a motion, or excuse me, is there any discussion? Motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'm sorry, Amy second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed. Next is B, proposed board policy updates for their first reading. 5140, administration of the budget. 5551, allocation of Title I, Part A funds in the district. 6213, registration professional development. 6220, temporary personnel. 7134, education of students in foster care. And 7260, designation of person in parental relations. Any discussion? Motion? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed. C is that the Board of Education approve the AAP personnel agreement as presented. Any discussion? Motion?
Move it.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Then we'll move to the superintendent's report.
Thank you. Tonight I've asked Jamie Sykett, who is our Director of Instructional Technology, to do a brief presentation to the board. As you know, we moved from regular paper agendas to board docs, but still there's a lot of information that's shared on our district website, and we've done a lot of work with the website over the last few years after Jamie created the new platform that our website sits on today. And I asked Jamie to just walk the board through the Board of Education page and provide any feedback from board members that like to make suggestions to him, and hopefully make navigating the board page on the district website a little easier for you.
All right, thank you. Before we get to the Board of Ed page, very quickly, I wanted to just point out the 2018 capital project. Now that the vote is over, a lot of the capital project information was on our homepage, and we wanted to continue to make that information available. Under the district link, our website is further segmented by buildings and departments, with each department and building maintaining their own page. But you'll find the capital project information exactly as it was presented before, and we do intend to provide any additional information on this link and leave this link active for the community. Going to our Board of Education page, as Dr. Guai mentioned, we're on Board Docs, which is a really great platform for all of your content and information, from policies to the board agendas and meeting minutes. The Board of Education goals are also posted on the Board of Education page. One of the best parts about our new website, we launched it 3 years ago. Compared to our old website, there was a lot of redundant information that was mirrored on multiple different links, which sometimes created a problem with almost providing misinformation, because it would be updated in one portion of the website but not in another portion, so which set of information was correct. So we really tried to, and we kind of maintain that on the Board of Education page, with trying to not really have duplicate information posted throughout on multiple different websites. So one of the key kind of parts you see that is our calendar system. And on our calendar system, this calendar represents all the Board of Education meeting minutes. However, or all the Board of Education meetings. On our actual main page, all of those meetings are also showing up on here. We only have to make one change and everything gets updated. That way there's no dates that get misinterpreted or misunderstood. And from our main page, if anyone clicked on full calendar, you'd be able to see anything from all of our buildings to the Board of Education meetings to the committee meetings, which we also have. So once again, on the Board of Education page, these are the traditional meetings. And we've also had a lot of the district committees coming back. I think we've seen that in the past couple of years. On the district committee information page, we have a small calendar up in the top right that it only shows the upcoming several committee meetings. But if you click on the Show All Committee Meetings, once again, it brings you over to a full-size month calendar that has everything and all of the committee meetings on it. This calendar is filtered for the committee meetings, but it is there so that you can see that, and any of the meetings that Karen has as she gets them do get published there, so that they show up on the main site as well. Below it, we have all of the committee members that we have, the Audit, Facilities, Policy, and Community Relations Committee, as well as our ever-important polling locations.
I just have one question to back up.
Sure.
With the, under the, for committee meetings.
Yes.
I know I brought this up at a previous board meeting. Do we have, I haven't seen any of the facility committee meetings posted on there. I don't know who I'm directing that to, but. Somebody on, I mean, I know it's not you, Jamie, you're just.
We don't have the dates. As those dates, I think that's kind of more of an ad hoc meeting with the facilities committee. I know that we did meet pretty regularly leading up to the capital project, but as of lately, to be honest, I don't believe there have been too many meetings, but I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, after during the capital project process, we met weekly. We were meeting very regularly. Now, as we're going through the design phase, waiting for New York State education approvals. We haven't met, I don't know if we've met
No, not
since the capital
That's
was
just
approved. But once we get it, once we, the facilities committee sits with our architects again, and we have a better sense of what our cyclical calendar will look like for facilities meetings around the capital project, I think it'll be pretty easy to put them up there.
Okay, yeah, that would be
Yeah.
great, because I mean, like I said before, like I'd like to go to some of those meetings, and I don't
Yeah.
ever know when they are, so.
Yep.
that'd be
They were
great.
all at 8 o'clock in the morning on Wednesdays.
Yeah, that's
And that
typically
was
our
the-
time.
Just because it was meeting over there with Craig, being able to go through everything, so
Mhm.
that's when we did it.
But they can be posted.
And that is essentially the Board of Education page. There are also some, we're mandated to post our lead testing information, and we kind of put that under the Board of Education page as well. That's essentially the Board of Education page, and we really wanted to show it to you as the board to just let you know where things were, and if you had any questions or comments, we're more than willing to listen. Kind of go from there.
Well, thank you for coming in and doing this. I know I've been trying to schedule a meeting to go over these type of things, and so I didn't know you were going to do this today. But with that being said, I think that there are a lot of good ideas. I think another good thing that would be beneficial for the board would also to find out from the community if there's anything that's missing from there that would be helpful to you. And that's kind of where I was going, and trying to set up a meeting was to figure out like what maybe would be beneficial to the community, what individually, I mean, as a board, we've never really talked about it. I mean, I have ideas, but, and maybe even look at other, I'm trying to think of what school district it is. I want to say it might be Liverpool or Fayetteville, Manlius, but one of the things that they did in one of their studies, they went out and they polled everybody and really crafted their entire website, including the Board of Ed page, based upon the needs of today and with technology and everything else. So I thought it would kind of be beneficial for us to look at some of those others, just to say like, oh, that's a good idea, the way they do this, that, and the other. So I don't know how we facilitate those kind of.
If you look at, probably Jamie can respond better, but at least initially when we were looking at changing the platform for our website and moving away from the company that we currently were working on, one of the reasons that we chose this particular platform, well, there was one real specific reason, and that was that our website was simply not ADA compliant. It did not have embedded sensitivity for those that might need support through the ADA. Which led us to looking at other companies, and one of the reasons that we chose this particular platform was because we were seeing it widely used across central New York by other districts who were very satisfied with it. But how you lay out your page is certainly up to the individual district.
Right.
Do you want me to speak on that? Or?
Sure, yeah.
One of the best features about this, when we did sign on with this company 3 years ago, our old website was 12 years old. It needed to change, it needed to get updated. There was a lot of old, outdated information on there that just wasn't, just through the years. OCM BOCES actually houses this, and it's a platform that they run. So by us signing on, what Dr. Gar mentioned about ADA compliance, they've been working hand in hand with us, guiding us through that. But as far as some of the other things that you mentioned with other districts, we can, we can try to research some of that and look for ideas as far as community feedback.
Somehow, if we can open feedback for, community members, people within the district and people outside of the district, like maybe that would help us to kind of decide, pick and choose what we add on there, or how we change the format as far as, I mean, I think it looks great and it's so much better than what we had before. But yeah, I just know it's a conversation that, with me anyway, has been going on for a while. So I just think that it'd be good for everybody to kind of chime in.
Maybe there'd be something we put in the community relations committee and make them an objective. When we meet there, we'll just
that might be good
put the feelers out exactly, and then have
Yeah.
the people go and talk to other constituents. They can bring that back to us, and then we can
Yeah.
dial in on it from there. Dial down.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank
Jamie,
you.
I have a question. Maybe you can help us. I don't know if any other board members have this issue, but with the Chrome, goes to sleep awfully quick. And if you know, if we don't move it or don't change it just blanks
Let me
out.
take care of that and look into that later. And I'll, yeah, it's probably a
Is
setting.
there a way of lengthening out
Yes, there is.
without an alarm clock? No,
No, it involves, it's a little buzzer. I put it on your wrist, it zaps you every 30 seconds. Don't forget to move the mouse, Sam.
I know Brian has the same issue, but he won't say anything.
I will, I'll look into that. I know that we have been, there's default settings and then there's non-default settings. There's certain ones that we don't have control of over at a certain device, but we should be able to work with you on that one.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Dr. Buhai, would you have any other items?
That's it.
Okay. Next is committee discussions. Would there be any items for that?
The only thing I thought is just that we should establish with the Community Relations Committee, I would quarterly, I'm just thinking we could throw that by the board just to see, but quarterly meetings, because if somebody contacted me, if we could get together and establish those
Yep.
dates for that, and then we can reach out and then put that information in the pipeline.
Right, that's
Okay.
okay.
So just,
So you and I will just touch base and
Yeah.
figure out it, okay.
I'm gonna sign up for that.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Can I talk a little bit about facilities? It's not necessarily related to facilities committee, but we have fully moved into the new Oswego High School main office. It's beautiful. We've started the construction on the old high school main office to create the space for instructional technology services. The wall is being built and being painted. That work is being done exclusively by our staff. At the next board, Karen, where's the next board meeting scheduled?
Fitchie Park?
Fitchie Park. I'll work with Donna. We'll talk tomorrow. We would like to do an open house and a board tour of the new main office as soon as we can. So we'll get back to you with more information on that.
Can I suggest that we have I hate to use this term, but we used to use it all the time, a postmortem on that capital project, where we get together and go through and evaluate steps that we did and missteps that
Yeah.
we can look forward as we approach the next one.
On the high school project?
Yes.
Yeah, we probably should reach out to Craig tomorrow, Nancy, and schedule a facilities committee meeting to do just that.
The only reason I say that is because I felt like it really wasn't fair to everybody, because we were so close and then it seemed to linger. And if there's any way we can expedite, make sure, particularly as we address the other capital projects,
Yeah.
that we go into that eyes wide open and keep an eye on it.
We see that with capital projects. You're almost there,
Yeah.
but you can't quite reach the ring. Like in this case, the floors were waxed, the furniture was installed, and then the fire alarm didn't work. And then the fire alarm worked and the swipe card didn't work. And then the swipe card worked and the Raptor system wasn't delivered. And then, so it looks beautiful and ready, but it's not ready for occupancy. But Pat?
We're looking to open the 11th, to get the Raptor installed and,
Mhm.
and start using the main doors on the 11th, Monday.
Yeah, I
Put on.
tested the swipe key today from the receptionist desk and Nancy on the outside. That's working beautifully. The office is beautiful. And the new main entrance adjacent to that, which is ADA compliant, is also really, really, really gonna be a huge enhancement, not only to the aesthetics of our school, but to the safety and security related to the Oswego High School students and staff.
And Dean, I just want to comment to Tom, the postmortem that we may have on this project
Mhm.
is not going to be like a postmortem that you would have if you had clerk of the works on the project, because they would be reporting back to you. Right now, that was all being funneled through our architects
Right,
daily,
right.
and that usually doesn't happen.
Right. I just feel there were other things, I think, the little areas where, even if it's just the information, we just let things slide a little, we can be on top of that.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
There were like the countertop issues and the
Yeah.
Stevens office supply. You know, it's not typical for the superintendent to be on site or in a construction project every day. But this is really considered a tiny project compared to what we're about to engage with. And so we need to have the necessary staff in place to do the supervisory functions and that understand the trades and that will hold folks accountable. and that work for us.
Right.
So,
Mhm.
yep.
Okay, next is the consent agenda, minutes of the special board meeting of January 14th, minutes of regular Board of Education meeting of January 15th, special education board report 2/5 of 19. Any discussion? Could I have a motion?
Make a motion?
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next, I will turn it over to Carrie Class for curriculum.
A, OHS Music Department trip, asking the board permission to attend, to participate in the National Association for Music Education All-Eastern Ensemble in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, for the week of April 4th through the 7th, 3 days, sorry, three nights involved in the conference. The students that will be attending: Alyssa Adner, soprano 2, mixed chorus; Shamika Lalaveras, alto 2, treble chorus; Andrew Bornheimer, bass 2, mixed chorus. The cost is $595 per student, which the district pays for, and then Robert Phoenix will be accompanying them as a chaperone.
I wanted to talk a little bit about this. Most districts talk about All-State. All-State is a significantly, just a tremendous accomplishment for a typical high school music student. And we send students to All-State every year. But to be talking about an All-Eastern designation on top of, which means these students are the best of the best in the East, is a very big deal. And these students, as well as some student athletes, will be recognized at the next board meeting.
Carrie, I assume we're picking up the tab for Robert also?
No, he has actually been selected by the National Association for Music as a chaperone. They corrected, they are going to, they selected him as a chaperone.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
Yep. Could I have a motion, please?
Move it.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next will be personnel with Dr. Sweeney.
A, extra compensatory position recommendation for our spring unified sports bowling. We have some time for a registered nurse and 2 one-to-one teaching assistants for student support. We will have another one coming at the next meeting, a student joined a little bit later who does need an additional one-to-one TA. That's good.
Any discussion? Motion?
Move it.
Second? Brian? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
B, extra compensatory position recommendation, modified track and field assistant coach for the spring middle school season, Lisa Davis.
Any discussion? Motion? Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
C, extracurricular volunteer recommendation for boys baseball for the spring season, Tom Frawley.
Any discussion?
I just don't know about this Tom Frawley. He just keeps popping up everywhere. No, I think it's awesome.
She's
I
on
have
the
a-
job before 8 o'clock.
Could I have a motion, please?
Make the motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
D, support staff recommendations, resignations, Nicole Earl, school bus attendant, transportation. Now, it's effective 10/17. During one of our reviews, we realized that she had never officially resigned from her attendant position because she's currently a bus driver for us. And Deborah Stevens, teacher aide, part-time.
Any discussion? Motion?
Move it.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
E, support staff recommendation, leave of absence, Jeff Chetney, custodian, Crystal McMahon, school monitor part-time, and Jessica Whiteside, school bus driver. The first 2 are serving in a second title.
Any discussion? Motion?
Move it.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
F, support staff recommendation, probationary, Dave Johnson, head automotive mechanic at transportation, and Ian Roberry, senior maintenance worker at the warehouse. They both just recently passed their civil service exams and can move forward in the probationary positions.
Any discussion? Motion?
Move it.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
G, support staff recommendation, change in status. Shannon Germain, a teacher aide, is transferring from Minetto to Riley.
Any discussion?
Yeah, we don't usually have to approve transfers, do we?
You don't actually have to vote on those necessarily, the change in status, but it's just informational for you. But you certainly can vote on it if you want. We usually let you know whether somebody is, let's say, increasing hours or transferring from building to building.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Motion?
Move it.
Second?
Seconded?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And H are substitute and temporary employees.
Any discussion? Motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next is finance with Nancy Squires.
A is for the board to approve the single audit report that we had for our federal funds for the year ended June 30th, 2018.
Any discussion? Motion?
Move it.
Second?
Seconded?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
B is for the board to approve the extra classroom activity fund financial report for the year ended June 30th, 2018.
Any discussion? Motion?
Move it.
Second?
Seconded?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
C is for the board to approve the corrective action plan for the extra classroom activity funds as presented.
Any discussion? Motion?
Move it.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
D is for the board to approve the cost of an appraiser for a tax certiorari matter not to exceed $3,750 to be split, and the other 50% of the cost will be incurred by the city.
Any discussion? Motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
E is for the board to approve the capital project change orders that were resulted from the high school renovations and the technology renovations. Normally, these would be brought to you on a monthly basis or addressed, and some of these were addressed at the facilities meeting, but they are supposed to be brought to the board, any change orders. So it's a little after the fact as I got them from the architect.
Is it all change orders that need to come to the board, or is it a certain
Capital,
amount?
all capital.
Any change order?
Yes, any change order for the capital project.
Thank you.
So you'll be getting a lot of these.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, as we go,
Well,
that's why I'm asking.
Or
that for the-
hopefully not.
The magnitude of the next one, and then, yeah.
Nancy, on the project budget, on that one slide, are we over or under? How did that?
We're
6A and
under.
6B?
These are the figures that were, that Craig Daly, our architect, had provided. Because the project hasn't finished yet, I don't have all of the accounting done. That was just an estimate from figures that he had from the beginning. So those may or may, I don't believe that his figures are the accurate figures for the project. I believe that we're under what we said we were going to spend. But until the project is closed out, I won't have all of those figures.
What was the original budget for that project, do you recall?
Oh, not off the top of my head, but I can put that into a transmittal.
So if these numbers that we've got here aren't accurate numbers,
What we had done from the beginning is when we found out that the project was going to cost more than we thought it was because of the delay in approval by the state, as well as escalating costs, we found other pools of money that we could use to fund that project. I had given Craig estimates, I didn't give him to the exact dollar, how much we had in certain
Good girl.
accounts. So the figures that he was using were based on some general information that I had given
okay.
him.
Okay. But down the road, in the near future, we'll have some final numbers?
Yes, once the project is closed out, we'll have some final numbers. We've been holding some pay apps for the contractors because the change orders have not been approved yet. By approving this, we can facilitate those change orders. I have to check with the architect to make sure that and Dave to make sure that all of the punch lists have been completed in order to release some of the other funds. I'm holding office, Stevens Furniture, until they correct some issues. And there's some retainage on other contracts that I have as well that we haven't released.
So are we in the punch list phase then, just down to the punch list?
Yes.
The very final few little items.
Just a,
Yes.
So eventually we get a report whether we spent all our contingency and blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Right down to the bottom
Mhm.
number.
Yep, that's what we have to report to the state
Mhm.
when we report.
Thank you.
Could I have a motion, please?
Hold.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
F is for the board to approve a budget transfer from athletic travel expense to equipment and officiating fees to equipment, $6,871.83 from those two account codes. And it's to purchase a portable scorer's table for athletic home contest for the high school field.
Any discussion? Motion?
Move it.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
G is for the board to accept a donation to Fitchie Park Home School for $126 to purchase admission tickets to the most for the fourth graders.
Any discussion? Motion?
Make the motion?
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next, we move to the student rep discussion.
Athletics wise, a lot of our teams are wrapping up, going to sectionals or ending, meaning spring is around the corner. I know a lot of the seniors are now at the point where they're getting a lot of their acceptances or finally being done submitting, so good for them. And I've got a tour of the new office. It's very pretty, I like it. And and a shout out to the musical because that's
Right.
coming up and that's always really fun. Excited to see what's coming up.
Allie, what about your acceptances?
I'm accepted into 2 and I'm waiting for 3 in March.
Do you want to share the two?
I got into Lemoyne and Oswego and I'm
Okay.
waiting on Hamilton, Nazareth, and Geneseo.
Awesome.
There
And
you
so
go.
your school district was well represented in Albany?
Oh, I traveled to Albany to the youth leadership. I'm not sure what it was called, Brian, then got home this afternoon.
And I want to go on record as saying, we had to get out of the senator's office
So we can
quickly,
come back for
so they can get
stats.
back to school for stats class.
We were really pushing to get out.
Without me breaking the law, I got them back.
Great.
Thank you. Next is items from the board. Any items tonight? Okay.
I have, no, actually, I just wanted to mention a couple things that I came to Layton, the other day for the morning meeting in one of the classrooms. The sweetest thing, so sweet. It's really cool what they do. They announce, what they've seen adults and kids do through the week, just, to kind of point those out. Just little good deeds and kind of pick them up. Jen, what's the name of that program that they're?
We call it morning meeting.
Okay, that is.
Yeah,
the name
each
of it?
classroom has a morning meeting.
Okay, and just teaching the kids to look, make eye contact and shake a hand, and
That's what she said.
just
You're-
really
Yes.
cool.
It's from responsive classrooms.
That's,
Yes,
okay.
it is from that, it's a training that
The
we
training
received
that
this summer.
Okay.
responsive class.
I knew there was another thing,
Yep.
then I popped in for the Royal Court too, which was just adorable. And, which brings me to Rebecca, again, you were doing a fantastic job with PR for the district. It's top notch. I just keep seeing stuff everywhere, so thank you for that.
Any other items from the board?
Well, isn't there on there, so there's the superintendent retreat, Board of Education superintendent retreat tentative, is that on there?
I added it.
Yes.
It was requested and I added it.
It's out at the
I
bottom.
didn't see it on
Yes.
It's
It's
under
on
items from the board.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think.
Oh, it is, okay.
The only thing that I'm concerned with is we don't have 2 board members here. So I don't know if we should table it for the next board meeting so that everybody can have a say. I mean, I think that makes more sense considering it's for the board.
I agree.
Oh, everybody else, Brian?
I'll make a motion to table.
Okay, and second? To table it?
I'll second it.
I don't think you have to have a motion because
Well,
it's under items from the board, it's a
okay.
discussion item.
You got it. And next is
Wait, wait,
adjournment.
but I do have a question.
Oh.
So, but this needs to be voted on in order for us to be able to go forward with it. So wouldn't this be
Yeah.
underneath Board of?
Well, once you decide, well, yeah, we could have a resolution prepared for the night you want to
Right,
discuss it,
yeah.
should you need it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Yep.
if we do go through, we have.
That would have to be
vote
approved.
on it in order for it to be.
But to
have to-
table the discussion, you don't.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Yes,
Next is adjournment.
spend the money. Yeah.
Could I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? You may